There is no story of enlightenment without the journey and what it meant to suffer trials of the hands of fate and leave behind those years of hate. Within the center of the earth they battle for the enlightened crown. Captain Lorry proving his worth 7 kingdoms deep below the ground. The battle rages on so loud, shattering earth and piercing clouds. It shakes the sky with lightning strikes. With power of gods in wrath they fight. Ferris, hurry inside, a dreadful night, green lightning a powerful omen sign. Run and hurry, get your brother and hide, and pray the morning will bring light. Grandmother Rochette, as old as the hills, the earth spoke to her of both good and ill. The secrets whispered without ink or quill, whispered by flames and smoke which fills the warm safety of their sheltered home, engulfed in storms and winds which moan. What's going on? Will we be safe here? Asked her brother Tom, wide-eyed in fear. Earth which shakes, the sky which tears, the fabric between worlds rips to let them in. Much is at stake in the tale I bear, true from before the start to beyond the end. Let who in? What world is sending? Don't be silly, Ferris says, all matter of fact. She doesn't really mean another world entirely. Hush, both of you, or no story before sleep. First understand, we aren't the first to walk this land. 7 towers once standing tall, before being buried beneath the sand, before their ruin, there was the last man. Javel the prince, as rich as sin, servants doting on his every whim. Forbidden pleasures sought and found, but to the prince they were allowed. Javel lived in his father's shadow, to the king alone the boy bows low. But the prince wanted his own power to show, he was a man who could stand alone. With lust and greed misplaced indeed, he found the captain's wife in need, and stole her to his bed to sleep. The wretched prince his appetite feeds. I think I might just like this story. Quiet, Tom, now say you're sorry. Quiet both, this is no idle fantasy. Green lightning flashed for all to see. Javel was banished for his deeds, and from his decadence he was freed. To walk the 7 kingdoms wide, to walk the ways, to become wise. In each kingdom he found a test, a terrible foe that he must best. Until he had passed by all the rest, not as a prince, but as a humble guest. 7 kingdoms, 7 masters, but none enlightened, so he goes faster, long past the last house ever known, until the edge of the world is shown. To the Yggdrasil's tree, roots deeper than seas, trunk wider than kingdoms, steeped in mystery. Touch its bark and kindle in you a sacred spark, an enlightened thought whispering from the dark. So the legend says anyway, though Javel prays day after day, all to no use in this sacred space. He found no escape from mortal fate, his frustration and anger now on display. Stomping, shouting, he'd come so far, but had not changed within his heart. Enlightenment gives no difference to king or prince, nor office inherited. You will not find the way through hate, says the witch yonder Sara, none so great. If you can pay the price, then follow me, I will show you the cost of being free. Yonda took his hand, and Javel was enchanted by the spell woman cast without words. Through all the land, across sea and sand, though all he'd had, he'd never known her. If you wish to walk the way of enlightenment, to overcome yourself, whatever that meant, to know your true name, the meaning of you, to renounce this game, become something new. It is not enough to walk the world far and wide, side to side. Walk the kingdoms within to be devout, a pilgrim wandering through your own mind. 7 kingdoms of the soul bar the way, each of them a castle with their own gate. Tell me my true name, I'm not afraid. You are the last man, it is your fate. The first gate is fear of losing what you hold dear. If you will see clear, you'll be willing to lose. The second gate, pleasure, a dangerous endeavor, a demon for hire, your body plays you a fool. The third gate, illusion, a fog of confusion, the only conclusion to let go of delusions. Through the fourth gate is love and loss, which binds you to earth as humble moss. The fifth gate, a temple of truth and lies, but you must decide to reach the other side. The sixth gate is identity, a mirror to you from a different view. Easily madness ensues. To pass the seventh gateway within your soul is to become someone the world has never known. The final test is attachment to all your beliefs. Let go of desire, even for finding relief. How can he be the last man when I still stand? How did this cause the tempest out of hand? This tale is not yet as old as I, so listen tight. Lightning won't find us, we'll put things right. You will understand after the old king dies, and across the land his messengers ride. Javel your king today, and banish not. We must ride hot to crown you before there are riots. Crown in hand, his new kingdom below, the power he grew up wanting, all his own. Now I understand why I am the last man, and none to follow can manage my plan. I see ruin and war without me on the throne, my people lost, my castle overthrown. And yet to pass through the final gate is to leave my people their own path to make. All I love will suffer being left behind, even the witch who dwells still in my mind. But I am the last man, and I understand I am doomed to suffer for a fate so grand. Javel spoke his true name, sacred, profane, shock and pain, crown hurled into the lake. From this world he parts, without flash or spark, forsaking Yonda and kingdom and crown he embarks, forsaking everything, even his own name, to be the last man ever enlightened again. Yonda Sara wails in grief, understanding too late, their love still unsheathed, promise yet to be made. The other kings and queens look at the empty throne, shock and disbelief, then greed to make it their own. As the last man said, the rivers run red, his lost power and crown sleeping on the lake bed. 7 armies violent clashing, kings and queens, teeth they're mashing. Yonda Sara grieves at the bleeding nations. Cities burn for infernal machinations. The prideful die, or fleeing for their lives, they scatter across the countryside. Yonda Sara could bear no more, gathering the weird sisters she abhorred. 3 witches of such terrible lore, their magic as dangerous as their allure. Together our power can end the killing, summon Nidhogg the serpent to perform our bidding. The 3 weird sisters lent their magic aid to summon the serpent from the essence space. Yet not even they could allay their fate and stop what the last man saw would play. They didn't understand the depths of Yonda's grief, or the power of Nidhogg, the serpent beast. He slithers in from a tear in the sky, the stars realign to form deadly eyes, gemstones of frozen time and space, from the essence world of sublime grace. Nidhogg had no intention to serve, though when summoned he gave his word. "Do not let them control me, set me free and you will see. I will give you what you desire, a secret fire, the one you need, to find your lost sire, the last man indeed. I know the ways to the Essence Place, where the enlightened ones dwell in grace." What if Javel did not have to lose yonder to escape? What price would she not pay to set the sun back another day, before it was too late to say, "The love which lingers, which never begun"? "Yes," she whispers, "to serpent susurration, I will release you for him, forever my obsession." Yon the Sara set the serpent free? Yes, indeed, his temptation too great, and the witch too desperate to believe. But no more interruptions, the hour late. Desperate the plight of the people in need. Come, monstrous Nidhogg, the demon snake freed. Did the serpent deceive? Who can say? Yonda Sara was never heard of again. Yet Nidhogg remained, the price she paid, a curse that had no cure readily made. Devouring villages, armies and towns, coils tightening to bring towers crashing down. The Weird Sisters could not control the beast broken free of their spell. What man had the courage to now stroll into the gaping mouth of hell? Captain Lorry alone now stands, his army scattered across the land. He could not beat the beast with brawn, so dove instead down to the lake bed. The discarded crown shining as the dawn, a last hope before Nidhogg is fed. The treasure was bait, away Nidhogg is led, though its secrets are lost to the last man's head. Away from the villages and towns, away from people crying loud, away from shattered land and sea, to ends of the earth at Yggdrasil's tree. Yet Nidhogg followed, blinded by greed, and so onward Captain Lorry leads. Down into the earth through secret ways, the brave captain drew the beast away. Nidhogg ground down stone to sand, and burrowed after the helpless man. Opening an abyss so wide, the palace of crystal tumbled inside. A rain of light is swallowed by the night. Down and down Yggdrasil's root, below the oceans, below mountain's foot, to where lava glows hot and red, and unknown monsters dwell instead. And deeper down still 7 kingdoms fill, forgotten ones in darkness dwell. Give me what the last man left, his secrets, his insight, his true names, the words of power he was bereft, the enlightened crown, it is the same. Give it to me and let me leave, never seen again. Or waste your life and flee. This is a losing game. I know the worth of your word, Nidhogg. Now is our chance. He took the bait. Weird Sisters, reveal yourselves from fog. Seal the doors before it's too late. Quickly, don't wait. Don't let Nidhogg escape. Seal us together. I've accepted my fate. And so the Weird Sisters sealed them in, together locked in the earth's true heart. Nidhogg looming with his terrible grin, the noble captain had found his mark. Doomed to night without dawn, 100 years in fight, until green lightning flashes, as it did tonight. Thunder died, the wind now quiet, ready for bed, though try to fight it. Tom could not hide his fearful sigh at the look of dread in grandmother's eye. Ferris felt little warmth from the fire, a grief, a longing, a helpless desire. 100 years since the story has come to pass, Captain Lorry alone in the dark all the while, trapped with Nidhogg, a ship with no mast, 7 kingdoms below, miles and miles. But the final battle you have felt tonight, we hope our hero survived the fight. Look and behold, for I now hold the key to open Laurie's living tomb. The captain your great-great-grandfather told, you both the children of that noble womb. Or perhaps from Javel, the last man's daughter, whose indiscretions lessons taught her. Here written in fine lettering, the prophecy preserved for all to see. Laurie wrote, all that begins in sound must end in silence, as all born of life must die. All I am is given to violence of tomorrow's eternal night. If I will be fighting 100 years in 100 desperate fights, then shall come my heir, and all my fears will be left behind by their shining light. Two faces peer into the looking glass, each gazing to the center. Who is on the other side, both ask, that depends on which will enter. Here comes Malhallion's line, bearing this scrap and key. In the darkness they will find what's left of me shall at last be free. Tom the male, the one true heir, must ascend 7 kingdoms into the ground, through the abyss, the endless stair, to save the captain the prophecy bounds. But what if I do not wish to go? Fate will not hear the answer no. Why is only Tom the heir? Ferris upset, it isn't fair. Look at the words of the prophecy, 2 faces peer, that's more than he. What if the door opens and appears, not captain, but serpent woken from sleep? A bickering argument then ensues, grandmother insisting Laurie has won, Tom asking of the beast in pursuit, Ferris bitter, the heir is the chosen son. The night was tired, offering no peace, until the family lay down to sleep. I do not want to go into the dark, Tom admitted when they were alone. What kind of hero doesn't hearken to adventure from the town you've outgrown? If I were you, then I would go, whether or not anyone cared to follow. Ferris pretended to be asleep. She wouldn't let her brother see how angry she was to be left out of the prophecy. Then slipping from her bed in quiet, by grandmother's door, sneaking by it, she watches her feet walk familiar paths, unafraid of the darkness and all it hides, unafraid the enlightened way without maps, proud of her courage, proud of her pride. She walks to her neighbor Sasha to ask, by throwing a stone against his glass. Ferris, what are you doing on such a night? The storm is over, don't have a fright. Do you want to come in, or just to be heard? Get some candles, follow me, don't say a word. What could the poor boy do? Of course he'd follow, of course she knew, yet how he looked at her was new. Tom never should have gotten the key. He doesn't want to have responsibility, assuming he hasn't lost it already. He's younger, so why's he got it, not me? Do you even want to go into the dark? What's that got to do? You're missing the mark. Do you understand now who I am? To be descended from Captain Laurie's line? Or even Javel, the enlightened last man, as close as it gets to being divine? I've always thought of you that way. Don't lie, she laughs, pushing him away. Then are you saying you do not believe? What do you think? It's all fantasy. Grandmother's so stuffed full of memories. What's real or not, she doesn't keep. If I was afraid, would I be here? Well, I'm afraid, so stay with me near. I've hardly seen you the last few weeks. I had work in my father's workshop. You should have come after the storm to see how I was doing, not fret with your mop. I've been thinking of you, even while busy. I made you something, would you like to see? The petals are carved from different wood to show you they still fit like nature grew. If we listened to our work, we could learn secrets that apply to us too. Sasha, this isn't like you, not anything bad, just something new. I knew it was late, but morning already? The bakery's on fire. Someone is yelling. Back to the village, leave it all. Grandmother, Tom, what befalls? The storm returned, but no clouds or lightning, but smoke and flame the cursed night brings. A lightning strike, the storm doesn't light the sky, so how could the houses now ignite? The fabric between worlds is ripped to let them in. Ferris mouthed the words from the story tonight. Monsters are here, dark denizens, from below the ground, calling the world to end. There they were, rising, shining, golden armor, claws for climbing, up the walls and over the town, up from holes within the ground. Terribly thin and so strangely tall, angels maybe from after the fall. Blood pounding loud, hearts rhythm making, a dance of flaring flame and smoke. A familiar world now a nightmare waking, hopes of comfort and safety revoked. We come for the heir of the prophecy. Give us the boy and we'll leave in peace. I recognize the Paral-Zakdul, the fifth kingdom below the ground, a city of fire and treacherous rule, a king who lies with every sound. You will not have the boy, you will rot back in the void. 7 times sealed to never be free by iron root of yonder Sara's tree, I name the secret word of power as the witches mutter in late hours, the true name of flame Elistar Sari, to burn those who would steal my family. Choking and coughing, lungs burning embers, there goes Tom, too quick to hinder. Yet the Paral-Zakdul were faster still, snatching the boy to run for the hills. The town now fully ablaze, but Ferris had no time to wait. Tom had been stolen into Mardo Woods, strange and cursed, and never should man or child ever go in alone, but Ferris must to reclaim her own. Frantic breathing, lungs still seething, no time for the others, only for her brother. Why had she been so quick to disbelieve? Was it nothing but her own hurt feelings? She never should have left them unready, chasing a boy, how stupid and petty. One more step, and she would be on the way, an enlightened journey not to return again. How long could she chase black lightning on her own through the wilderness? Where the monsters now in hiding, where her brother now anyone's guess? She'll follow Tom to the end of the world, Ferris of Malhalion, no ordinary girl. The Paral-Zakdul, those monsters knew to take Tom straight away, an innocent child who hardly grew, who never harmed yet had to pay. Then it must be all true, it really was he, the sole chosen one of tonight's prophecy. Around Ferris the forest darkens, no amount of rest will her heart mend. And what of grandmother, the spell she cast, a character straight from the story past. Elistar, the secret name of flame, could she be a witch, one and the same? Did she imagine, or did that tree turn to watch her pass? Was that the wind or whispered glee, a voice which snickers and then laughs? Branches grasp as reaching claws, dark trunks opening as hungry maws. What creature lurks in the shadow there? Are you a beast or something fair? Did you sneak in through reality's tear? Why don't you speak? Why only stare? Bumble the goat, what are you doing here? It was smart of you to run in fear. The goat was not the only one, the trees lunging, slobbering in hunger. Such monsters lurk when day is gone and fragile sanity breaks asunder. Ferris ran, skipping, leaping, Bumble behind her goat wild bleating. Then laughter from a sky with no sun, were the stars and moon now making fun? She had come too far to be careful now. Show yourself, I'll keep going anyhow. The wind was still, the trees held their breath. With fear she fills, but she'll pass this test. Not a monster, but old women snickering and bickering in the trees. Is she pretty? Quick, step aside. It is my turn to see. One woman obliged, taking her eye straight from its socket, passing it to the right. Do you know who we are? To come so far you must have heard the story absurd, but we played a part, the weird sisters and their magic words. I remember there being 3 of you, 2 of us here, and your grandmother too. I do not care who you are. Will you help or not? My brother has been stolen from me, and time to chat I haven't got. Dragged below the ground to rot, bound by a prophecy which is his lot. Though why they would want Tom, I cannot understand. Pure and innocent, he's never done wrong. No great warrior, not even yet a man. Why couldn't they have taken me instead? Why didn't I stay sleeping in my bed? Granted, there was some ambiguity in the wording of the prophecy, but it is meant for the one true heir, the magic written in times unfair. The omens have been read by those below. They have been ready for their plans to unfold. Some may want the tomb open to seek Javel's enlightened crown, others to free the beast upon their foes to be devoured. Then there's the treasure which fell into the dark, palaces lost above, but below still marked. Do you not believe in your brother, the destiny to which he's called? Why not him? Why should another be the hero who rises above them all? To follow Javel's footsteps on the way, to pierce the illusion of mortal dismay. Tom didn't want to go. He shouldn't leave unless he says so. Did Javel consent to his banishment? Did you choose the path on which you're sent? Or is Ferris only angry it wasn't she, called to great deeds in prophecy? How do you not care at all, the suffering of an innocent boy? It's your fault Nidhogg ever came to be, so work your magic and please help me. Is she crying? Let me see. The other sister pulls the eye out free. Of course we care, we'll be fair, everything for its price. We'll help you find the captor's lair, if you offer us a sacrifice. What could I possibly have? Bumble the goat? A newborn calf? Keeping a goat would make me glummer. Old witches like us have no use for that. Won't you just give us your last summer, the memories of the love you had? I do so miss my youthful stunts. You'll only forget the last few months. You want me to forget knowing him? Sasha, the boy who's become my friend. But if I am to leave, maybe it will be easier not remembering what could have been. Then it's settled, your thoughts for sale, the way will open to prove herself heir. Ferris was sure of the path ahead, yet she couldn't help but be sad. Not for the danger which lay in wait, but for her thoughts which now wouldn't stay. The song that was over before it was sung, the love ending before it begun. Her brother in danger, no time to waste, lightning from the witches raced, a terrible moaning in the wind, or the wild laughter of her new friends. Keep your thoughts on your quest, it will be better for you to forget the rest. The storm was gone, the clouds now parting, but a rain of stars was starting, striking the mountain or into forests fell, dancing to magic of the weird sister's spell. Was this the last time she would see the sky, the light of stars to be left behind? Once fearsome trees, now merrily stepping aside to open the way. Off with you now, but go warily, not all you meet are so willing to trade. Won't you give me a star for light? My dear, you are the light, none so bright. Through the portal, inside the trees, Ferris walking deeper below the mountain. No one remains to keep her company, but she didn't need it if she found them. Bumble, will you come too? What have we gotten ourselves into? The trees sighed as the wind now died, settling back into peaceful sleep. A simple forest once more will hide the passageway into the deep. With the door now sealing what's behind, there's no going back to an innocent mind. Ferris, Tom, what happened to you? Where are the monsters in pursuit? Sasha shouts into the forest grim, his voice hoarse, calling for them. They haven't gone anywhere nice. You can follow if you can pay the price. What do I have that you could want? A carving from my workshop? Don't waste time while I'm on the hunt. I'll give you anything for this nightmare to stop. We have no need for pretty things. What sacrifice shall your journey bring? Oh, poor Sasha, I see many things in store, the price to follow the one you adore, but there is nothing in the world to make you suffer more than loving a beautiful girl. We will open the way for you if you are prepared to see it through. Sasha agreed, not even hesitating when the trees began animating. He was angry at himself for what he didn't say, what he didn't do, that he was too late. Was this the same path Ferris took? No other choice, his heart was hooked. Grandmother Rochette, you took your time. Aren't you a little old to climb? You're much too late, they've left you behind. Ferris, Tom, and Sasha have forsaken the light. I came as quickly as I could for someone living in a house made of wood. Don't be cross, I thought you wanted Tom going to Laurie's tomb. I feel his loss and wouldn't have tossed him out on his own so soon. Do you think he's really the true heir? The girl is certainly something rare. They will have to find out on their own in caverns deep, on golden thrones, on weary feet through fearful woes, forgetting the meaning of the word home. As the columns of the world hold up the stone, so too the children bear this weight alone. The Parals Akdul are no easy prey, the fifth kingdom below our feet. If they wished the prophecy allayed, the boy would be dead already. But they had their chance, but captured him. They want him alive for whatever ends. You know more terrible things lay in wait. The darkness itself has a voice. When Javel gave everything a name, he gave the darkness will and choice. To separate everything from every nothing is to give nothing its own song to sing. In dividing all which is from which is not, Javel left more than a legend behind. The void is there listening, a stained ink blot, a hole in the space with its own devious mind. As silent as shadow drifting over sleep, lonely as a broken heart is, the living darkness breathes. Morning is coming, too old for running on adventures meant for another life. Let us together thank the sun's sting and remember those who've left its light. The Weird Sisters have played their part. Saying goodbye was always hard. Through the trees, Ferris leads, another canopy appearing from each floor. Darkness devouring the steps to feed, hesitant feet which beg no more. Each step feels less solid until she floats. Was she dreaming, or has her mind broke? What was the magic the Weird Sisters used? What did it mean to know a true name? Elistar, she spoke the name of flame, but nothing changed, the light the same. It wasn't enough to speak the word aloud. She must understand its true meaning profound. Visions surround Ferris as she descends the stair of what would happen if she mastered the way. She'd become a goddess of beauty and fairness, who everyone knew and respected as great. She'd walk between worlds as stepping stones, time and space her playthings she owned. Whispered voices from the dark. Is someone coming? I see a spark. Ferris, will you be the one to save me in need? Or after all I've done, will you still leave? I have given everything to slay the beast. I deserve a celebration, a royal feast. Yet other voices drifted, as if in sleep, serpentine susurrations, scales which creep. Along the edge of the fading light, deeper she goes, the coils tighten. If I am the true heir and Tom is not, he will open the tomb to find Nidhogg. Ferris recoiled from the banister, feeling scales and muscles stir. Looking back was a mistake. The stair had become a rearing snake. And if Tom is the true heir, yet you open anyway, are you prepared for pending fate? You should open it, even if I am inside. Either way, I'll soon be through this fence. Better you not preserve your pride at the price of your sweet innocence. Ferris stared at Nidhogg, a ghost in the fog, a dream or a trick. She wasn't scared of it. So you want to know the secret names? I can teach you if you'll listen. I come from the essence place, where truth exists, not copied or written. I have been alone for 100 years. Won't you take pity and lend me your ears? The essence place is where the spirits dwell, from where I was summoned before I fell, where mighty Javel is only a humble guest, no more glory than all the rest. To speak the true name is to know the essence. To speak your own is mastering senescence. I could be your teacher if you like, your guide from this ordinary life. I can show you the secret names, not just words of nonsense profane. Won't you sit and listen beneath my tree and learn from all my years of mastery? I do not understand how this could be. If the battle is over, one of you isn't true. You cannot both be Serpent and he. Either the noble captain won or you. 100 years fighting each other. Perhaps the two of us became one another. Two faces peer into the looking glass. A poor boy stolen, a poor lost lass. Which of them deserves my power? They will prove themselves by the hour. A noble queen you could be, ruling over all reality. If you do not believe in yourself, you'll never make it through. But so too, if you believe too much, your wealth of certainty will be your doom. Who is on the other side? Both ask. Who is divine? Who common trash? Gently the serpent's voice fades away. With strange new lights it is replaced. Mushrooms growing along the stair, deeper, deeper into an unknown lair. Until, at last, the stairway gives away. No longer the surface, but some new place. Softly glowing, radiant showing, strange fruit holding to luminescent fungus. At least there's a little light here growing. We'll be okay, Bumble, don't make a fuss. The words catch in Ferris's throat, watching them sprout arms and move about. No celestial bodies shine this far down, but the world is flooded anyhow. A moon mounted on top of a pillar of stone, the boon of light and hope for this cursed biome. Do you think Tom sees the same glowing head? He must be safe, or the snake would have said. The first trial of the way is the land of fear, though Ferris was ready for any test. Everything breathed and rustled here, the plants and stones themselves possessed. 7 kingdoms, 7 trials to survive, comes Ferris Malhalion, the line of divine. Do-do-do.